The beautiful thing about Hezekiah was that he was the king of reformation. He came and restored Israel back to true worship, true praise, and he restored the word of the Lord. Now, to understand this in its totality, you got to understand 2 Chronicles 29. When Hezekiah took over, he found that Israel had built idols, right, and they had started worshiping these idols. Right. And because of that, God was not with Israel like he was in time past. And then when Hezekiah finally took over, he realized that for this thing to get back on track, there's got to be some work done. And if I want to get this thing done, the first thing I got to do is get my house in order. Somebody say order. When Hezekiah got sick, the prophet came to him and he said, Hezekiah, this day you shall surely die. And he said, set your house in order. All right now. So Hezekiah was a man of order. And because he recognized that order, God blessed him. And so what I feel that God is asking us to do today is for us to set our house and set that boy in order. Right. All right. Amen. Now. Amen. Run with me real quick to 2 Chronicles 29. Keep your finger on 32. We're going to come back to it. But I want to show you something. Second Chronicles 29, verse 3. In the first year of his reign, in the first month, he opened the door of the house of the Lord and repaired them. Then he brought in the priests and the Levites and gathered them at the east square and said to them, hear me, Levites. Now sanctify yourselves. Sanctify the house of the Lord your God, of your fathers, and carry out the rubbish from the what? For our fathers have trespassed and done evil in his eyes. They have forsaken him, have turned their face away from him, and dwell in the dwelling place of the Lord, and turned their what? Backs on him. These are people who know God, by the way. Got it? So he said in verse 5, he said, sanctify yourselves and sanctify the house of the Lord, and take away the what? Rubbish from his house. If I want to set God's house in order, I got to understand there's some construction work that I got to do first. Got it? There's some things that I got to tear up first before I can make it right. The beautiful thing about God, when he comes into your life, he does home improvement. He takes this old house, guts it entirely, so he can make it new again. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now the problem is construction is very nasty. All right. It's very dusty, and there's some hard work involved. Nobody likes construction, but everybody likes living in a nice, beautiful house. But somebody had to do some blood, sweat, and tears before you can walk in that house. So if you want God to flow in your house with power and virtue, you got to let him do construction work so he can live in the house he's trying to inhabit. I'm making sense to you. So the first thing Hezekiah said was sanctify yourselves. He said, before we even get to the house, we got to get to you first. Making sense? There are a lot of people coming to the house who are not sanctified. You think you want to come to get sanctified. Wrong answer. Come on, Reb. You need to bring the fire with you before you even get here. Making sense? So in other words, when you come to the house, you should already have on your mind that I'm set aside for the master's use. When you go to your job, you should be sanctified there. All right now. Sanctified means just set aside for his use. A lot of people think sanctified means walking around in white all day long. And that you're going to float on there. That's not sanctification. No. Sanctification is having a God consciousness that I am a part of God. Sanctification is that I know I'm God and I have to live with God and he's got to live in me. And I got to give him a place that's worthy of his name. Come on. That's why I can't cuss. Amen. Your enthusiasm overwhelms me. That's why I can't do certain things. Because I want to give God a place that he can dwell. Making sense? There's certain things, because I love my mother and father, I won't say certain things around them. Yes, sir. That's right. Amen. And then when I get around certain people who I know my mama and daddy. Come on now. We shape up because we know the report gonna get back to them. But what happens when you're not around somebody who knows mama and daddy, or mama and daddy are not there? I'm helping you. What happens when you're not in church anymore? And you're not around church folk? He sends you back to them people who you've been hanging around all along, who cussing and drinking and having fun or whatever. Can you still be set aside for the master's use? Making sense? He said, first sanctify yourself, then sanctify the house. Some of you got some music in your house that need to get cleaned out.
All right now.
Some videos that came in black. We got to clean out the what?
The rubbish.
Rubbish. Some of you need to clean out your car. Amen. Come open the trunk. God gave you passenger seats for a reason. They're made for passengers. Amen. Not for junk and paper. If you got to move stuff around before somebody get in your car, something wrong. Hello? I'm trying to help you. Because if you do that physically for a car, you try to do the same thing for God. You try to fix up stuff before we show up. When it should be fixed up before we even get there. Hello? So in other words, he said, sanctify yourself, sanctify the house. Clean stuff up.
All right now.
It's a beautiful thing when your house is in order. You can find stuff. The only reason why you're frustrated in life because stuff is out of order. The only reason why you're frustrated with your money because it's out of order.
All right now.
Hello? Who should get the money first? Then who? Then who after that? Everybody else. If everybody else is getting a chunk first before God get his, then you just put idols in front of God. People make sure enough that their car note is paid, that their house note is paid. Tithes can wait. Now we get quiet. We want God to give us money to get the gas. That's for us.
Yes, it is.
But we don't want to honor him with our first offering.
You better tell the truth.
But we want him to provide for us.
Yeah.
That's kind of off, ain't it? If I'm praying to him to bless me, I should also be in order with him.
All right.
Come on now.
Making sense? Because again, if gas price is $4 and you want God to supply all your need according to what? Then you got to make sure that you're in line with him.
Amen.
Listen, it don't matter who's in the White House. It matters who's in your house.
Come on.
If Jehovah Jireh is in your home, he will supply all your needs according to his riches and glory.
Yes, he will. Amen.
I give y'all a true thing. This last week, Monday, I had a $1,400 debt that had to be paid by Friday. Okay? I paid my mortgage. I paid my car notes. My insurance.
Amen.
I bought some groceries. The baby got it.
Amen.
Made sure the lights stayed on.
Say it now.
I just bought groceries.